Hey, how's it going? Today we are in Westbrook Village, which is actually an active 40 plus community. That's right, you can actually get in. There are a few workarounds that you can get into this community being 40 years old. It's probably the most central community relative to the valley that is active in an age restricted community. So I want to show you around and see if this might work for you. And real quick, I just want to give you kind of a basic summary of the history and location of Westbrook Village. So here is the border of Westbrook Village. Anything within these red lines is going to be a part of Westbrook Village. There's a phase 1 and a phase 2. And all that is when UDC Homes, the builder of the community, was building, they started in phase 1, built it out, and then started in phase 2. So phase 1 is a little bit older than phase 2. One difference between like floor plans, things like that, was they stopped doing the galley kitchens, you know, the walled-in kitchens. They're not any of those in phase 2, but they are in phase 1. There are 2 rec centers, one in phase 1 and one in phase 2, but the $656 annual rec fee will get you into both of them. Westbrook Village is definitely the most central of all the age-restricted communities. You can see you are right next to the 101. You don't hear it or anything when you're in the community, but you're maybe 2 minutes away from it. And once you hop onto that 101, you can get to just about any part of the valley. So if you're coming here to retire and spend more time with family who live in the valley, this might be a good option because you're going to be able to get to them pretty fast. It's also pretty close to healthcare. I mean, when you're that close to the city, all the good healthcare, Banner Health, all the hospitals are close by. Today I'm going to take you on a tour starting in phase 1, a townhouse in phase 1, and then a townhouse in phase 2. Again, there are a ton of single family homes that I can also show you, and I'll be showing those to you in the future, but today I'm going to show you just 2 townhouses and then a community tour. And while I'm walking through the first phase 1 townhouse, which is 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1,001 square feet, I will tell you a little bit more about that 40 or plus rule that I talked about in the intro. So in Westbrook Village, as long as no more than 20% of the residents are 40 to 54 years old, then they can accept more 40 to 54 year olds, if that makes sense. So right now they're sitting at about 8%. I just spoke to the HOA, so there's a ton of room. So if you were in that 40 to 54 year old range and you wanted to get into the community, we could make that happen for you. You can see just from this little townhouse community just how green and lush the community is. When we get to the golf club and the rec centers, you'll see just the lakes and the trees and the green grass. It looks very nice. There are 3,900 homes in Westbrook Village, and it's located just there off the 101 like we showed earlier in Peoria. Now within Westbrook Village, there are a ton of just little HOA subdivisions, so your monthly HOA fees are going to vary depending on which subdivision you belong to. Different little communities have a pool, some don't, some have a bigger park. You can see this one has a nice little pool. Most of them have a pool, but even if you don't want to use this pool, the rec centers from the annual fee also have pools. Right now in Westbrook Village, there are 34 active listings, and in the last 90 days, there were 55 closings in Westbrook Village. Their low out of those closings was $217,000. The median out of those closings was $387,000, and the high of those closings was $585,000. So that kind of gives you a better idea of where the market is at. It's an affordable community to get into. You can see it's pretty green. There's a lot of townhouses and condos that do sell, so that's why the low and the median are pretty low. But if you want to just get into a nice community that's central to the valley, it has all the amenities of all the bigger ones, but it's just a bit smaller and a bit greener, I think this is a great option for you. A pretty cool and unique aspect to Westbrook Village is the Westbrook Posse, which is basically volunteer police. They are just residents of the community, so this could be a good volunteer opportunity for you when you move here. They can check on your house when you're out on vacation, check on a loved one, find lost pets. They're just volunteer police to check on the community. Now we are in the phase 2 area with this new townhouse, the 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1,300 square feet. You can tell much more modern design, the vaulted ceilings, the open floor plan. This is going to be a higher end area with more modern homes, and the prices are going to reflect that. They're going to be a little higher here in phase 2. I was talking about the 2 rec centers that they have earlier. They have outdoor pools, fitness centers, and pickleball courts. They have just about all the amenities that the bigger communities like Sun City have. Another cool thing about this community is just the variation in home sizes and styles. You can get in at the 1,000 square foot condo that we were looking at earlier, all the way to 2,300 square foot single family homes. You can get in at just about any pricing. You can remember from earlier, we were talking about the last 55 closings, and they were from $217,000 to $585,000. So there's a big price range to work with. And I gotta tell you about just the greenery in the community. It's a beautiful community. You'll get to see that a little more now. We're about to go to the golf course and the rec centers to check those out. This was a super busy community too. I get people calling me asking, hey, we don't know if we want to go to a 55 plus community. They might be a little too slow for us, which I understand. You want to stay in your active lifestyle, but I'm telling you, a lot of these communities are not slow like you might think. You'll see, I kind of got a little image of the golf club. It was packed. This is a very active community, and you'll get to see that. Westbrook Village has its pros and cons, though. Obviously, the pro is the great location. You're closer to the 101 than Sun City. You're closer to the 101 than any age-restricted community. I don't think there is one closer to the 101 than Westbrook Village. And the 101 is the most popular highway in the valley. And just real quick, before I go into the cons, you can see just those people over there. That was just the golf club on a normal day. So that could also be a con, just how popular the golf is. There are 2 18-hole courses. They have leagues. The public can play in the off season. There's men's and women's leagues, and then residents get obviously better rates and tee times. But you can see I'm walking down just one of the rec centers. The Lakeview Rec Center is right across the street from the golf club, which that is the golf club, and here is the rec center. So you get both right next to each other, and then the other one is back over in phase 2. Again, with just how much was going on today, how many people were inside and outside of the golf club and the rec center, I didn't get too many shots of the inside of the rec center, but I got a little bit of me walking around outside and a few cool shots of the golf course, which we will get to see. I really like the green grass and the trees and all that. It's a very peaceful atmosphere, and it's pretty quiet. Even though I was talking about how active it is, there are a lot of people around, but it's not like parties and going crazy. It's just, people enjoying their time out in nature. It's really weird that you're so central to the valley, but you don't hear a ton of cars going around. But I like it. You get to see, just look at this lake on the golf course. It's really nice, and the golf club patio overlooks that. We'll see. There are also 2 restaurants along with the 2 rec centers. So you get access to 2 restaurants right within your community, which is pretty cool. You can see right there, that was the patio I was just talking about. On to the cons of the community. If you were to compare the community to Sun City, then you wouldn't think it was as good. I mean, here you're paying $650 a year for 2 rec centers, and in Sun City you're paying $525 a year for 8 rec centers. So you get more rec centers over there, but I would say you get just about all the same amenities. I mean, maybe a few less, but here you're still getting game rooms, billiards, bocce ball courts, library, pickleball courts, studio for pottery, a sewing studio, stained glass studios, tennis courts, table tennis, fine arts learning center. There's an RV parking lot for you to park your RV if you're getting an RV to kind of travel the country. I know a few people who do that, and they just want to buy like a snowbird area down here and then travel the rest of the year. They have an RV parking spot. So there's a lot that you get here. And sure, the houses are a little bit more expensive. I wouldn't say they're that much more expensive than the Sun City homes, but the rec fee is a little bit more. And it is smaller, so you're getting less for your dollar here, but I don't think by that much. But one thing Sun City does not do as well as Westbrook is just the views. You can see just the greenery. Sun City, it has nice golf courses, but it's nothing like this. Like driving through this community, it is just all shaded, and it is very nice to just drive through. I very much enjoyed my drive through there, and I enjoy visiting the community whenever I go out there. And to finish off the video, I just want to take you on a little drive through the community because I keep talking about how nice it is to drive through. So I'll show you a little drive of it, and I'll just hit a quick recap of everything we talked about. So yes, the average sales price right now, the median sales price for the last 90 days was $387,000. So if that's kind of your budget, this might be a great little spot for you. The greenery, the golf course, the water, the lakes, I think it's one of the best places at just the scenery for age-restricted communities. I think that most of the 55 plus communities give about the same amenities, and this one is no different. It gives you the ballroom, the computer room, library, all the things I kind of talked about a little earlier. $656 a year for all of that, and it's not optional. You have to do that. We talked about how this community you can actually get in if you're within that 40 to 54 age range. They have some availability for you. As long as less than 20% of the community is between 40 and 54, then you can get in. But other than that, I think I've caught you up to just about everything that goes on Westbrook Village, all the clubs that they have, the rec centers, where about it is in the valley, and what the market here, what houses are going for. But yeah, that was our tour of Westbrook Village. I think it's a really nice community. Probably has the best greenery and golf courses that I've seen in these 55 plus communities, especially for being so central to the valley. It really is right on the Loop 101, which will get you just around to anywhere. So if you have family down here, you're coming to retire to spend some more time with your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, it would be a pretty good option for you. And my name was Caden Leali. I was a realtor out here in the Phoenix Valley of Arizona. So if you had any questions or you wanted access to those free 55 plus chart and graph or the Living in Arizona guide, feel free to reach out and I can get that over to you.